In this video, we'll create a walkout basement and a sloped terrain. We'll create the basement first using our Build Foundation tool. In the Build Foundation dialog, I'll change the minimum height of my stem walls to 124 inches. Then I'll click OK. I'll derive the new foundation from the first floor plan, and then I'll make a small adjustment in my basement. I'll double-click in the basement room, and under the Structure tab, I'm going to adjust the ceiling height to 96 inches. Then we'll go back to the first floor level and make some adjustments to the terrain to slope it. I'll go to the Terrain Tools configuration, and under the Terrain Tools configuration you have several elevation tools that will affect how the lot will slope. You have elevation points, elevation lines, splines, elevation regions, and terrain breaks. The easiest way to create a sloped lot for a walkout basement is to use the elevation region. I'll select elevation region, and I'll click and drag a rectangular region at the back of the house where you want to walk out for the basement. I'll also create another elevation region at the front of the house. Once you've created the regions, you can assign an elevation. In the front of the house, I'll double-click on the elevation region, and here I'm going to leave the elevation at the default 0. At the back of the house, I'll open up this elevation region specification and lower it to a negative 96 inches. And click OK. Then we'll take a perspective full overview. And as you can see here, our lot is sloping for the walkout basement. However, it looks like it's a little bit too high up on the building. So I'll double click on the terrain here. In the terrain specification, we'll uncheck the automatic height for pad elevation so that we can control the height of the terrain in relation to the building. I'm going to change that to a difference of 14 inches. When I click OK, you can now see that my terrain is at a more appropriate level. The next thing I want to do is in the floor plan view, we'll go down to the basement floor and double-click on the back wall of my foundation. We'll change this wall type and add a pony wall. The lower part I'm going to leave as an 8-inch concrete stem. The top I'm going to change to the same siding as the rest of the house. Height off of the floor for this change I want to be right at the floor level, which is going to be 0. Then I'll click OK. We also want to add a door and a couple of windows. I'll go back to my default toolbar configuration, add a sliding glass door, and we'll add a couple of windows. Then we'll go back to our perspective full overview, and you can see that our basement is looking pretty good. You can learn more about terrain features and tools, such as driveways, garden beds, and retaining walls, in the User's Guide, additional videos, and in the reference manual.